Solar giant Nextracker soaking up the revenue in the first quarter, the revenue coming in over $100 million. That is above the Bloomberg consensus estimate. Now, despite that massive beat, the company still maintaining its 2025 forecast. And joining us now, I'm pleased to say we have Daniel Shugar. He is the CEO of Nextracker, which, of course, is the leading provider of intelligent solar trackers. So let's talk through the guide, because you take a look at the share reaction right now, currently down about 8%. A lot of the sell side pointing to the guide. Walk us through it.
Well, we couldn't be more pleased with our results. 50% year-on-year growth from last year. It's been our sixth quarter of double-digit growth, and that's because solar is the lowest cost way to generate power on most places on the earth. We are forecasting for this year another year of significant growth. This is our first quarter, so we exceeded plan. We're going to manage the business appropriately.
To that end, yes, it was only really months ago that you were spun out of Flex. And as a standalone company now, what are you doing differently than when you were not a standalone?
Well, we just announced two super exciting acquisitions. We acquired a company called Ojo and another company called Solar Pile International. And let me explain what they do. Nextracker makes intelligent tracking systems that help the panels be aimed at the sun. And what these two exciting companies do is help you practically mount it in difficult site conditions. For example, hard rock, where you can drill and set the foundations of these systems, or in softer soils and places like that. So now that we're a spun out, fully independent company, we're in a very strong liquidity position. What we've done is, in a diligent way, done prudent, disciplined acquisitions to really help increase the total available market and solve problems for customers.
And so with that in mind, that strong liquidity position, you mentioned the acquisitions that you've made recently. Are more potentially on the horizon?
Well, we're always open to great ideas. The main thing is driving value for customers and helping solar continue to be the lowest cost way to generate energy, breaking away from polluting industries like coal and nuclear and things like that. And so what we're really focused on is discipline and in our evaluations, and making acquisitions that deliver value and that are accretive over time.
Dan, there's a lot of question about what this election cycle means for solar, for other forms of greener energy sources. And if Trump were to win the White House, what would you think the biggest change would be in energy policy, and how would that be impacting you?
Right. Well, the growth in solar is really about fantastic technological progress, innovation, and cost reduction. We grew significantly under Obama. We grew more under Trump. And we're growing more now. It's not about politics. It's about what's the lowest cost, lowest risk way to generate power. And the thing folks don't necessarily appreciate is how much power is needed both in the US and abroad. Nextracker operates in 40 countries around the world. And what we're seeing is very strong load growth driven by data centers, electrification of vehicles and other demand, and in the US, reindustrialization. So we need power, the lowest cost, best return for investors, and safest way for us to build, which advances our energy security and energy independence, is to use renewable energy. So the other thing Nextracker has done is we've stood up 20 factories with our partners across the US. Across the political spectrum, most of our manufacturing facilities are in traditionally red states. And so we're generating thousands of additional jobs. Our industries announced over 150 factory openings in the last few years. So this is really about jobs, energy independence, and lowering costs for customers.
Dan, we thank you so very much for your time. Of course, that is Dan Shugar, Nextracker founder and CEO, off the heels of the company's earnings report.